What's up, man?
thirsty. It is the thirstiest of Thursdays.
The thirstiest of Thursdays, man. Dude,
Almost.
I just got done cooking this lovely dinner. Lovely,
Yeah.
healthy dinner comprised of chicken nuggets and french fries for my kids. And then I
From
did
McDonald's?
this nice little no. Homemade, of course. I make my own chicken nuggets in the house and french fries. No, definitely out of frozen bags. I'm a bad dad. But no. That's the go-to when you just don't feel like cooking, when you've been cooking all week long. And also, I made me and mom, my wife, a dinner comprised of, because I'm on this health kick, trying to lose this weight, get my sex appeal on come summertime months. It's getting a little warmer
Beach
out
season.
there.
Beach
Gotta be able
season.
to take the shirt off, with some oil, But I made this nice chicken stir fry on top of
See you
cauliflower rice.
glistening and lathering up. Just
That's what I do. I
in
glisten,
a
baby.
banana hammock in a speedo, sitting out on the patio.
This awesomely nice, healthy dinner on top of cauliflower rice, man. It was delicious, but all I could do when I opened up my pantry after eating this healthy dinner is look at this nice big old box of flavor blasted cheddar goldfish and trying to see if anybody else sees me and trying to sneak in a couple of handfuls while I'm eating this deliciously healthy dinner. And it just got me to wondering, man, how many people are out there like me who buy snacks for their kids, meant for their kids, but you can't keep your grubby fingers off goldfish? That is my weakness. I didn't used to even bother with the goldfish.
Hold on. First of all, I just want to point out here, we've got MLB opening day. We've got Sweet 16 March Madness, but in true Pod Me Up fashion, we're starting with the foods. And I've never been more proud than in this moment. At least that we're talking about food. You with this whole healthy and holistic, that makes me sad. I mean, I'm happy for you.
Don't be sad.
Shape,
I mean,
but
I'm getting in shape. I'm trying to live another 40 years, man.
Hey.
Well, maybe not 40, maybe like 25, 30, just enough to have a couple of grandkids,
I gotta grandkids. That's a ways
I'm
away.
That's a ways away. That's a ways away. I know. This is all I'm thinking about. But go ahead.
There's lots of snacks, like all of them. Listen, there was one time I bought my kids. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be nice and get them donuts. Them joints didn't make it till they got home from school. I just kept walking by. No. I should have got the 12 instead of the 6.
I don't even have a sweet tooth, like by nature. But if I buy sweets for my kids and I better not put the bag in the passenger seat next to me because I'm just driving and looking over. And they're like, Trai.
If I don't make eye contact, it's not eating it. It don't count. If I don't make eye contact.
If I just grab it, dude, like a bag of chips, a box of donuts, anything. I'll leave in the passenger seat next to me. Gets going.
See, I got a bad sweet tooth, so that's what gets me. The little so we're about to have Easter, right? We're gonna have Easter this weekend.
Right.
All of the like Easter Reese cup eggs and bunnies are gonna go on sale. In theory, I'm gonna buy those for my kids. No, they'll get like 4.
Dude, all I want for Easter is a chocolate bunny. That's the only thing that I want. That's the only candy that I enjoy. Like the jelly beans were cool. Every jelly bean flavor except for the black and the yellow. I hated those two. But
the black is like black licorice flavor, right?
Right. Disgusting. It's like
nobody has time for
the
that.
Black sheep of candies is that, and then candy corn. Like who eats black candy?
Yeah.
But no,
you know what? Candy corn's better. My brother, oh man, he's special. We were at Walmart a few weeks back, and this guy picked up a bag of circus peanuts. Let me tell you, the most disgusting candy out there is circus peanuts. Have you ever had circus peanuts?
What are circus peanuts? They're not just regular peanuts like these, you get at the circus?
No, they're these candy peanuts. They're orange. They're like,
I've seen them.
Quite marshmallow. It's like foam, and it tastes like Pepto-Bismol. It's terrible.
He picked up a bag of them?
And he was like, this is delicious. I'm going to have this for movie night.
He was going to snap on there movie night.
We almost weren't family anymore after that. I love my
That's
brother,
disgusting.
but there was several rules broken with that.
I feel like there's universal bad candies. I mean, that's on the list. Candy corn, black
You know what?
licorice.
But I can get down on candy corn when in a pinch.
No, I can't. They look like little tees from like on a golf course. Like you could just put them in on a par 3 and hit a golf ball off them.
It's a candy pee-pee.
I can't stand. Pez is disgusting.
Oh, come on. What's wrong with Pez?
I mean, everything.
Pez and candy cigarettes was like every kid's first snack.
Just the dispenser was the coolest thing. That's it.
We was out there smoking those candy cigarettes, the fake Virginia Slims.
Dude, okay. Since we're talking about old school candies, man. I can name you 3 off the top of my head that I absolutely love. And people actually, the one that I'm about to name, people didn't quite like, and it left more for me. So I didn't mind being the only one that liked it.
Boston Did you really like it, or was it shredded? Oh,
I love Boston baked beans. I don't know why.
So
Boston baked beans, lemon heads, and Chico
You like
sticks.
the absolute. You like the worst candies ever.
Those 3 were golden. And you know what? It was always funny. Whenever I went to the store, there was always
liked about it. That's what you liked. They never ran out. You as a kid at Halloween going up like, oh, you've got all of the bad candies left? Just dump it in here.
Chico
so you're
sticks?
not gonna be No.
What about Pop Rocks? Love me some Pop Rocks.
I like Pop Rocks. Fun Dip. I like Fun Dip.
Oh man, yeah. Have you had Fun Dip lately? They try to come back out with it, and I take the kids thinking I was gonna relive my glory. It's the sweetest thing ever. I almost went into a diabetic shock off the first bite. Like it was that much sugar. I'm like,
you eat the stick, right?
Yeah, of course. The stick actually was the best part. Were you not supposed to? Oh, yeah. Pause. Oh, you just keep on just gonna let me just gonna hang me out there. He's gonna let me out there with no life preserver. No, he's just gonna let me drown.
That was a little pick and roll right there. You rolled right to the basket on that one and finished strong. No, but yes, you were supposed to eat the stick. And it was the best part. Did you? But so I tried to make Kool-Aid out of the Fun Dip. Like I would take like my bottle of water and try to make Kool-Aid with the Fun Dip, and then just eat the stick.
Not to go off on too much of a tangent, but like, did you realize that Kool-Aid was just water flavor, like water coloring, and you had to add so much sugar to a Kool-Aid packet to make it actually taste like Kool-Aid? Like, what did they do? It was just water coloring. Nowadays, I think they add sugar to it, but if you ever just put Kool-Aid into a water, it was the most disgusting thing ever. It tastes like Tang.
My favorite. Tang. I mean, you got your like. There's the run-of-the-mill Reese cups and stuff like that. That's like everybody loved those. So let me go outside the box a little bit. I love Junior Mints. I do love some Junior Mints.
Anything with mint in it, you weren't a real kid. Like, who eats peppermint? You were a grown kid. That's what you were.
You were eating Boston baked beans.
You were a 60-year-old teenager.
That's not even a candy.
You probably like those little like butterscotch candies too. They hand out at church. Huh?
Werther's Originals.
You loved it. They were always in a bowl with the candy that wrapped up like a strawberry that nobody knew the name of. Whatever candy was called.
We're gonna get to, as Clemson's back here ruining my day behind me.
That's only down 9.
We got plenty of sports to talk about. Let me
are we gonna even get there? Dude, I'm all amped up on Mountain Dew now. I want to know all about this childhood candy. Oh, what else? Nerds.
I still get Nerds. They got the Nerds combo pack where half of it is purple, half of it is pink.
Right.
And
now laters. Dude, like you ever get like so frustrated with trying to unwrap Now Later that you just like forget it and eat some of it? Like the paper will still be stuck on it. You just say, forget it. I'll eat it anyway. Just
You know
That
what
never
was a
happened to
thing
you?
in my school when I was like in middle school is they would sell those sugar sticks. It was like candy canes without the hook, without the cane. And there was like different
Without the
flavors. Did you guys have those?
Dude, we only grew up like a few hours apart. How are things so much different in Ohio than
It's a whole new
it is in
world.
Indiana?
It's a
I
whole new
guess.
world. Yeah, they had like it was like root beer flavored, cherry flavored, strawberry flavored, grape, apple. There were candy canes without the hook.
Oh, you know what? I think I know what you're talking about. I didn't like those. Those were just
Twizzlers.
okay.
Twizzlers was a
Twizzlers are
go-to.
Twizzlers a good one.
Did you ever drink the pop through the Twizzler? Do you say pop or soda?
I said pop.
Yes,
I say
thank
pop.
you. You
Yeah.
know what hell it was
Apparently-
living in Florida for several years when they call it soda. I went to a Publix right after moving to Florida. Like I was down there 2 weeks. It's like, what aisle is your pop in? The lady looked at me like I was special needs. I'm sorry.
It is pop, everybody. Pop over soda all day.
It is.
But
No, she pointed me to the popcorn aisle. She literally had zero clue what I was talking about.
she was trying to make a point, man. She was trying to make a point.
Uncultured swine is what she is.
It's not worse than down here in Atlanta. Everything's a Coke here. I said, he said, what kind of Coke would you like? I'm like, there's different kinds of Coke. Yeah, you got Sprite. You got like, no, Sprite is Sprite. No,
I've heard that.
it's a version of Coke. Like, no.
And
But,
my grandmother from Mexico, she said when they moved to New Mexico, everything was mellow yellow.
everything was mellow yellow.
Yeah.
Dude,
It
that
was
is
not mellow
hilarious.
or yellow. It's just that's what they did. But
That is
yeah,
crazy.
did you ever bite off both ends of the Twizzler and use it as a straw in your pop?
No, I was never that patient with my Twizzlers. I just ate it and then I just tasted it with pop. That's what I did. I didn't try to drink it through. What did that add? Did it add any kind of benefit to the taste of the Coke? Or you just thought you were being
cool.
fancy?
You was just a cool kid doing that.
Nah.
By the way, this segment brought to you by diabetes. If you need any more information on what not to do for your children, keep listening to me and Trai talk about all of our eating habits when we were a kid. Hey, let me ask you real quick.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, because I was going to ask you a different question about this, but I'm sure you got something else you wanted to add to the snack.
No, I was about to talk about.
My answer is there's literally next to nothing that I won't. At least my kids have to pay the tax on Halloween.
Oh yeah,
with the
definitely.
candies.
So I'm a chocolate guy when it comes to Halloween. I want all the chocolates, which is good because Jordy only likes chocolate chip cookies and then he likes hard candy. So me and Jordy have a good system going. Like I just take all the chocolate out of his bag, especially all the chocolate that has like crackle in it, like crackle or anything.
Oh, you like the crunch bar?
Peanuts.
Like the crunch?
I like the crunch bar. I like Baby Ruth's has peanuts in it. He will eat a Snickers, which I'm always disappointed in because I love my Snickers. But yeah, we have a good deal going. The girls, wide range, they eat everything, so it's much harder to negotiate with them on Halloween time. But they got to go to bed earlier than I do, and they don't understand that I know how to make the bag look heavier than what it is. So even after I put my grubby fingers in there and take what I want away, so of course,
worst part of Halloween is when it sits in the bag for too long. The chocolate starts tasting like the fruit candies because it all just kind of meshes together in there.
Oh, my chocolate never lasts that long. We got Halloween candy up in our pantry now that we just don't get to. So we never make it all the way through.
Yeah, it doesn't always. You don't always get to all of it. So I got another food thing I want to ask you, but I'm gonna save that because I need your help in the meantime.
Okay. Yep.
Let's circle back to a little bit of sports topics. And if you guys want to comment on this, you can in the comment section. Or Trai, maybe you can put a poll about it. So I'm from Cleveland. It's very well documented on this show. Mm-hmm. And I love the Cleveland Indians growing up. I do not support the Cleveland baseball team anymore. Not because of the name change. The name change was kind of the final straw that broke the camel's back for me because it has to do with the ownership. That the ownership constantly runs out a roster and lineup that has maybe 4 major league salaries on it every year. but they sold out. The reason for the name change and the Indians went to the Guardians was so they could get the All-Star game in Cleveland. The owners made all that money off of hosting the All-Star game, and they don't put it back on the field ever. Cleveland has had, over the past 15 years, maybe the best string of starting pitching in Major League Baseball. And they just can never hit. And it's because the ownership won't spend money. Once every 8 to 10 years, they'll spend a little bit of money.
Even less than the Pirates? Probably not less than the Pirates. I don't know.
It's similar.
Less than the Pirates. Okay.
But yeah, it's similar, but the Pirates have never had the pitching. Like the Pirates had a little window, but they've never had the pitching to be World Series contenders.
Right. I got you.
The Indians were in the World Series against the Cubs, and they, blew that 3-1 lead. But that was when Francisco Lindor, Jose Ramirez, they were all on younger, cheaper deals. So for those reasons, I cannot root for that team until ownership changes. So every year, I have to pick a new baseball team to root for. And I'm pretty hell-bent on being an A's fan when they moved to Vegas because it's like my second home. Like I know that city inside and out. So that's the logical choice. But I can't watch them right now. I can't stay up till 1 a.m. to watch A's games. They're playing in Oakland. I'll never go to
watch
an A's
baseball?
Game. I have it on as like white noise. Like right now, you don't see the third television behind me, but the Savannah Bananas are on down in your neck of the woods.
Right.
We'll even throw that junk on. But it'll be like white noise in the background, like how I watch golf on a Saturday or Sunday.
I got you.
And then like playoffs. So I have a little criteria here. These are the 3 teams that I am deciding between for this season. The Atlanta Braves, the Tampa Rays, because the family there, my wife grew up in the area, even though I'm not really a fan of Florida teams. The Rays are kind of like what the Indians used to be. And then the New York Mets, because the Mets have like half the Indians' old players with Lindor and some others. And really, they're just the redheaded stepchild of New York, and they need love too. Everybody loves the Yankees. So I refuse to go the bandwagon route like our guy J-Bone. I'm not going to just pick the Yankees or the Red Sox or the Dodgers or any of those. But I think I've whittled it down to those 3 options. I need your help, though. I got to pick one.
Well, selfishly, I'm going to say Atlanta. But if I'm being completely objective and not just wanting you to come and visit your buddy down here in the great state of Georgia, I think I would go to Mets route. They spent a lot of money. Yeah, the colors are cool. I mean, you and Max get along with his Florida Gators and your New York Mets.
Yeah.
Similar
I did used to be the voice of the post-game show for WOR in the New York Mets. Back when you and I first met. When they had that. Yeah, when they had
you have a natural
spots and
you have a natural bond
back
with
in
them
the
already.
day. Yeah. And even that didn't help back then, but not real fan of New York in general. Like the city. Smells like pee.
Cool to visit. I mean,
it's not a lot of cities smell like pee. Like Cleveland smells like pee. So
I'm about to say it's not saying much. It's
a lot of cities now.
It's a lot of cities like that stink. Yeah. You've been to New Orleans? That might be the smell of the city.
Not, but I've heard that it's the worst in New Orleans because of how hot and humid it is down there. In the summer. It just bakes into the pavement is what I've been told.
It's fun. And you get used to it, which sucks because you're having so much fun and you're having a few beverages. Oh, they've come back. Is Arizona making a run? There you go.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah, I say the Mets, regardless of how the city smells, that might be your best bet.
See, I like the Braves though because there's an Indians vibe to it. Like it's the Braves are an Indians, and also people forget there's a AAA team in Indianapolis called the Indians. It's not like they banned the name Indians across baseball. Cleveland just did it because they're soft.
That field is Indianapolis does a really good job with that team too. Victory Field is a sight to see. Yeah,
really.
It's right downtown, right down the street from Lucas Oil. It's a really cool stadium. So if you
I've
get a chance to
heard
go,
I've heard good things about downtown Indy.
yeah, downtown Indy's pretty fun. All things considered, that's probably one of the cleanest cities you'll go to, and everything
That's what I
is
heard.
within walking distance. And so
Is there
they
a
have this
train
cool.
in Indy? Do they have a train
No
system out there?
train. Well, they just incorporated one. Yeah, it's not robust by any means, but it gets you from like Carmel to downtown and back again. But there's not one that goes through the city. They have a bus system, public transit system, but really they have indoor tunnels that kind of connect all the major buildings downtown, so that if it's cold outside, you don't have to go outside to get to where you want to get to. So you get to the mall, Circle City Mall, you get to Lucas Oil, you get to the convention center. They do a really good job.
So that's my conundrum. Help me out. I think we've whittled it down to Mets and Braves for the most part. I'm just so torn. There's good things about both. There's bad things about. Where do the Braves play now? Are they downtown?
No, they're up in Cobb County now. Truist Park. That place is amazing.
The Falcon Stadium is not downtown either.
No,
correct?
Falcon Stadium is. Mercedes-Benz is downtown.
Oh, is it?
The State Farm Arena where the Hawks play is downtown. And then they moved the Braves out north to Cobb County. So they have like their own little mini city, pretty much. With like, they got like the Braves Stadium, which is called Truist Park. And they have all the shopping and malls. And they have this huge little league, like sports complex with like 20, 30, 40 fields. They do a lot of the little league stuff down here. So they've really done that area up real good. And the old Turner Field where the Braves used to play is now home to the Georgia State football team.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you this as a former player, and if you didn't hear the news, I guess the Browns are tinkering with the idea of building a dome.
Right.
And moving out of downtown Cleveland. I see a lot of fellow Browns fans up in arms about this. Oh, we're in the AFC North. We should play outdoors. Shut up. Nobody wants to be outdoors in December. Just let us be inside.
Is that going
old school? So
is that going to the softness, the softening of the NFL? Is just to put it.
That's what I was going to say.
I kind of do agree with the AFC North. We have a prestige. We have a reputation to uphold as being the toughest of the teams in all the NFL, all four of them.
You can do that indoors. Okay. You can hit people indoors. Listen, I sat on this very program with you and Max telling me about the worst game you guys ever played on, and it was when your feet were frozen to the field in Cleveland. Is that fun as a player?
Yeah. But that was rare. That was one time. One time. But think about this. When was the last time a dome team or a warm weather team won the Super Bowl? And regardless of where the Super Bowl is, because it's usually, and they're doing better.
Tampa and LA both won it in the last 5 years.
Damn it. Yeah, that was recent. Yeah, that sucks. That doesn't prove my point. But like over the Kansas City being a team that plays in the cold, Kansas City, for some reason, is one of, like, it gets cold or as cold as teams up north. It's crazy.
You're right. Let's put Patrick Mahomes on every team, and now we'll talk about how good it is to play in the cold.
Who was so Tampa and then New England before that? Then
like I get what you're saying, but it's
Philadelphia.
I think there's this. I think there's this fake thought process with the AFC North that it benefits the teams to play in that way. It doesn't. The Saints a couple years ago with a healthy Nick Chubb came into Cleveland and beat the Browns in December. That's a dome team from the South, came into Cleveland and beat you. Like, it's not the way that they've moved today's NFL towards being a passing league. The defense is starting to make a comeback, but I don't think it benefits them anymore. You could argue the NFC North has every bit that reputation as well too, right? They've also had two teams playing in a dome forever now and about to be a third because the Bears are getting a dome, aren't they?
They've talked about it, yeah.
So it's twofold for me. I don't go to enough games. I don't go to enough games in Cleveland to like really care if it's indoor or outdoors. NFL is the one sport to me that past the tailgating aspect of it, unless I'm on the field, I'd rather watch at home. Like, unless I have a pass to be on the field, you're not getting a better seat than the camera angles you get from watching at home. Like, I've gone to many a games where I've gone to the game and somebody popped up a television at the tailgate, and we just sat out there and kept partying and drinking and watched the game at the tailgate all day long. So the watching experience as a fan, I don't get it. I do get it from a business sense, though, when you're up here in the north. Now you're talking about having a dome. You have concert availability all season long. You have the ability to host college football playoff games. You have the ability to host so much more stuff. As an owner, you're going to get more bang for your buck out of a stadium that's a dome. You could do the retractable roof thing, but I just keep seeing the argument that, well, it would hurt us as a team or it benefits us to be. I don't think it does.
No,
Ask
that's not a
TJ Watt if
strong
he would rather
argument.
play on a good, if he would rather play on a good surface as he gets older.
But okay, so I get that. From a fiscal sense, it makes all the sense in the world. Because of the hosting of different events outside of football, the taxpayers actually getting their money's worth when it comes to a stadium and not having a vacant building for 2/3 of the year. But if we're talking about football, a sport that was made to be played outside, it does lose a little bit of the luster, I guess, to have what? I guess if Cleveland gets a dome, that means Buffalo should get one. That means Green Bay should get one.
Well, Buffalo is getting
It
one.
means no, I thought they were building one and it was not going to be. I thought they did a rendering and it was still open air.
I thought it was retractable. I could be wrong though.
I could be too. Who knows? But I get it. I understand it. But it just feels like everything is just getting soft because you don't want to play in the elements. Every now and again, you get a game that has to be delayed or canceled. Yeah, it's inconvenient, but like there's nothing like seeing teams play in the snow when the elements actually add to the strategy of a game. You have to account for wind, you have to account for rain, you have to account for snow, and you want to see how teams adjust on the fly, how well-rounded a team can be, knowing that they can't just pass the ball 50 times a game. They got to convert to a run game. Makes teams having to be more well-rounded. I like that aspect of it because when it comes to playoff times,
there's a certain level where I'm being facetious, and I get it, but it's just the rules are dictating such that having the bad weather games is not going to level the playing field enough to overcompensate for subpar offensive line play or quarterback play or a bad defense. I think there's this misnomer and this theory that playing in Chicago or Green Bay or Cleveland or Pittsburgh or Baltimore in bad weather levels the playing field for you. You think Baltimore wouldn't love to have Lamar Jackson on a fast track all season long in the playoffs?
I think Baltimore actually enjoys when they have home field advantage, teams coming to them. And
they keep losing in the playoffs at home.
I mean, they're going to lose wherever they go, I guess. But I don't have an answer for that. But like home field advantage in the elements is a thing, you know? I mean, obviously when you got Patrick Mahomes on the other sideline, it doesn't matter as much. But Pittsburgh having to go to Buffalo and play in the snow, other teams having to go to Buffalo. Buffalo has the advantage.
Well, that was a special kind of snow you guys got this year.
That is true.
You guys were digging out the field so that you could partake in the in the game.
No, but I do get that it makes logical sense to have domes in cold weather places, especially in December and January. But football is not a logical sport, damn it. You know?
It's not. And I guess so. Let me explain the other side of it to me. You know how many missed field goals I've seen outdoors in Cleveland Brown Stadium that cost us games?
Yeah.
I mean, for every
I mean, I don't know the exact number. There's quite a few, I'm sure.
Yeah. But it's every year. We got kickers like that damn quarterback jersey. Somebody start the Phil Dawson jersey and name all the damn kickers we've had that have just shanked field goal after field goal. We've drafted them. We've traded for them. They got Dustin Hopkins was pretty good this year, but
right.
I don't know. I don't think that it gives you I think home field advantage period is an advantage. Like just being the home team, period, is an advantage. The other side I'll say is, when's the last time the Browns hosted a home playoff game? 30 years ago. I mean, why aren't we hosting a home playoff game? Because of late season losses in the elements against teams like the Saints? Against teams like the Jets a couple years ago?
Amongst many, many, many other reasons.
Right. Well, and just, again, like I want them to do well, but it's just, if you put, and that's the other thing, is they're going to move it to a dome outside of downtown, which I actually like. I think, and that was why I was asking if the Falcons are downtown. I like the idea of like every city having their own like little Jerry world, like make it a bar district and make it a whole like football, you have your Browns Hall of Fame there and just different stuff and festivities that you can do right there in a whole little section area of town.
Yeah, I do like that aspect of it too.
So if you're a player going into for a game for a weekend though, would you rather be in the city?
Most definitely. But like it depends though. Like I've played in the Cowboys Stadium, but the Jerry World around it wasn't built yet. So I can't remember where we stayed, but most of the cities that have downtown stadiums, we stay downtown. Like Cincinnati, we stayed downtown. Cleveland, we didn't stay downtown. We stayed out in the suburbs somewhere. But Indy, we stayed downtown. Baltimore, we stayed like on the harbor, which was pretty cool. They had us stay in areas that at least had some dinner spots that you could go to and stuff like that. So as a player, there was stuff that we could do before the game, the evening before the game, if we wanted to. But it would be nice to have everything all encompassing, so you wouldn't even have to think about going downtown and being around a whole bunch of folks that are just there for the game, So
what is what's the weekend schedule for sports looking like for you? Are we into golf yet? Are we paying attention to golf?
Do they have a warm-up tournament for the Masters in a couple?
I'm sure they're.
That's all I'm looking. I'm looking forward to the tournament, the Masters. This time of year, golf. All I'm worried about is the Masters. I know they do.
We need to take this on the road and get down and watch the Masters.
Dude, most definitely. I think my daughter's coach, my Amaya, her soccer coach, his dad is like one of the people who works is a yearly, I don't know what they call him, a volunteer for the Masters, and he has been for like the last 30 years. And so it comes like the coolest perks. Like he gets to obviously go and help be an usher at the event, but then like the Tuesday after, he gets to go play around at the Masters, or like the Tuesday or Wednesday after the tournament. And so the son, who is Amaya's father, gets to go there with him, and he gets to pass that down to him once he retires and he's done doing it. He gets to keep it in the family. So I'm hoping that he adopts me here pretty soon and that I get to go to the Masters. Like that's on my bucket list of things to do.
So you get to pick, you go to the Masters, you get to pick your foursome, 3 people to join you. Who's in your foursome?
Oh, just anybody? Oh, that's tough.
Well, you got 2 left because I know I'm there.
Yeah, you're there. I got to give you there.
I'll be caddying. I'd be so afraid to play it at Augusta. I'd chunk that damn course up so bad and I'd cry a little.
I got to bring somebody who I know would appreciate it. Max will have to be on that list. He is.
You don't have to know them. John Daly's on one of mine.
Oh, you don't have to know him?
No, John Daly is on my list.
Oh, John Daly would be cool to golf with. That dude, he looks like a blast.
Hey, we are going to play the longest round of 18 holes ever and have the most beers.
Dude, we're going to be rolling down the hills. Like that we got to walk that course. There's no carts. You know that, right? So that is
John will find us a cart.
Okay. Okay.
Because it's going to be an all-day party. I'll tell you who I would bring you because I know you would appreciate it. So you got one person that would, because my 4th one, me, you, John Daly, we're bringing Bert Kreischer, baby, and he is
of
gonna
course.
pour up the booze, and we might be barefooted with shirts off golfing by the
Dude, we
end
might not
of
make it past 5 holes, man.
That's
That's
okay.
a whole.
We'll put up sleeping bags and finish the next 13 holes the next day.
Okay. Dude, the
It will
Masters
be a
is
day.
definitely. Dude, that has to happen. The Masters has to happen at one point or another in my lifetime.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take it out
So.
there. No, I was gonna say if you don't have because the second weekend and third weekend of March Madness is such a letdown compared to the first, especially 2 days, with how like spread out the games and stuff are. Plus, nobody's excited because half of people's brackets are busted and they're just not having fun with it. That's why you got to just bet on the games, guys. Just bet on them. Just do it.
Right.
But if you haven't yet, and if you have Apple TV, I just finished watching that Dynasty documentary about the Patriots.
Right. It's pretty good.
It was good. It covered stuff like that I didn't think that I was shocked. Like, it's shocking to see Belichick and Brady a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Edelman was in it. Gronk was in it. It makes me feel old because it's like a time lapse where you're seeing like how the pads and football was played when Brady started, when Drew Bledsoe got hurt.
Wow.
And then what it looked like at the end. And it's like
Right.
just a whole like transition of football. Like they have the hit against the Bills where Brady just got depleted and like destroyed.
Wow.
And now we talk about football and what it is now. But Bill Belichick is an asshole.
I think everybody knew that. They didn't know to what.
Yeah, but
extent.
like, oh my God, what a dick. I can't.
Sure.
It might be one of the most impressive things ever that Robert Kraft kept Bill Belichick and Tom Brady together as long as he did. Like when you like just see about like the power struggle between Bill wanting to do things his way. I'm sure you don't, but you know the Deflate Gate and then the Spy Gate and all the stuff in between. It just covered a lot. That I was like, oh, this is going to be like kind of a fluff piece, and it almost came off like they're trying to make Belichick look like an asshole. Like that was kind of the
really
like that was what it came off as. Like because Gronk was talking about how he was like the last season there just wasn't fun, and when people left and stuff, like it was crazy. But they got into like the Aaron Hernandez stuff, and like they dug into that. And Deion Branch was on there talking. I guess he was really close with Aaron Hernandez, so it's really interesting. But like, it just started making me think about like the Bill Belichick's, the Greg Popovich's, the Nick Sabans of the world. Like the Patriots were as successful as can be, but I don't know how you. I was, I guess, looking for you to explain that difference to me where you turn the switch from football being a game to a job.
I mean, what do you mean? Like when the fun starts to seep?
Yes. Like when the fun is gone,
football and
now
just going
it's a
there.
job.
I got you. Dude, you start to feel that. I mean, it's like a culmination of things that happen. And I'm sure it happens at other places faster than it does in other places. In Pittsburgh, it never felt overly too much like you were going to a job, clocking in and out, and you were miserable. Like, for the most part, you had fun because the locker room, you had a bunch of guys that were on the same page and also who got along pretty well. There weren't any cliques. So I never felt that way in Pittsburgh. But, I mean, as you start to get physically worn out and it takes longer to recover, just from that aspect, it can start feeling like a grind more so than I'm going out to play a game for a living, you know. But I can imagine how somebody who ruled, like you're saying, with the iron fist, like Belichick did in New England, how that can wear you even faster, even as a young player. It doesn't surprise me that the documentary showed you what kind of environment it was up in New England. I heard stories from my peers and guys who played up there for a few years, and like, I'm so happy to be out of there. Other guys who enjoyed that type of structure, it was more so ran like a what do they call it when you go to the military for the first time? Basic training.
Boot camp.
Like,
yeah, basic training.
Boot camp. Yeah, that it was kind of ran like that, and that it was always on the grind. There wasn't a whole bunch of fun. He didn't really care about if your spirits are high or not. He wasn't interested in individuals' happiness or what kind of family situation they were having or personal life or whatever. It was all football all the time, and he didn't care whatsoever. And some people liked that, some people didn't. Obviously had a lot of success there, but I can definitely see how somebody who with the domineering personality that Belichick has and how he just wears on you over time, how the fun can seep out of football really fast.
Because you look at those Patriots teams, as successful a franchise as you're ever going to come across, most likely. Like they call the documentary The Dynasty for a reason, right? And so you look at it from the outside and you're like, oh, here's a team. These guys, they're playing a game for a living. They're making good money, traveling and winning. I could definitely understand how like losing would definitely take its toll on you. Like, damn, it's week 9 and we're eliminated from the playoffs already, but I still got 8 weeks where I got to show up, put my body on the line and be a professional. Like I could see that, but you're talking about a team and an organization that was as successful as they come in NFL history. And the fun was just sucked out. Like that was when you would think it should be the most fun, I guess, from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
And
yeah, but when
no,
go ahead.
To Belichick's credit and defense, and probably when he took over that position there, he probably had to make the mental, I'm going to treat everybody the same regardless of who you are because I have to be willing to cut you, move on from you. And we saw that with Drew Bledsoe immediately. Like you lost a step. This guy came in and won for us. And if I'm willing to do that to you, the guy that they paid franchise money to back then, you have to stay consistent with that all throughout the course of your time as general manager and head coach.
Yeah. But I will say he wouldn't have had the success. And I got a chance to witness this a little bit firsthand when I was down coaching in Tampa. He had the perfect, what can I say, representative of what he wanted out of his football players in Tom Brady. But he had a guy in Tom Brady that could translate his message in a way that's more digestible for the rest of the team. And so when you got a guy like that, it kind of eases the tone a little bit that's coming from Belichick. And so it may not be, that's why he was such a big reason for the success. And he saw the downfall as soon as he left. There's nobody else there that can translate his message how that the team needed, on top of the fact they didn't have a lot of talent after he left. Everybody left kind of like in one fell swoop, but he didn't have anybody that could deliver the message like Tom Brady could to the rest of the team in a way that could get everybody on the same page and excited to play the game of football. And so it doesn't surprise me at all that you got that kind of like feedback from watching that documentary. Belichick is an asshole. It's well documented. He's an asshole to the media. And it sounds like that, but his assholishness is a big reason why they were so successful and why they had a documentary named The Dynasty. If he wasn't the way he was, and who a lot of coaches are, they may seem hard on the outside, but they get the job done.
Well, I think another coach like that is Greg Popovich. Like Tim Duncan was the perfect superstar to play for Greg Popovich because he could take that. You know what I mean? Like he could be the one to, okay, Pop's getting on my ass. So if he's going to get on Duncan's ass, he's going to get on Manu's and Tony Parker and Bruce Bowen and on down the line and down the list. But yeah, if you get a chance to watch it, it was interesting. They covered a lot more than I thought they were going to cover.
I'll take your word for it. I don't want to watch anything with the Patriots on it. I'll never watch a Browns documentary. I'll never watch a Ravens documentary. I'm okay. Yeah, I'll just hear from you.
Come on.
It doesn't interest me.
You need to educate yourself. You need to see what it's like on the other end of the spectrum. You're living a Browns documentary right now. By the way, you see your backup quarterbacks now putting out workout videos.
Was that him? I mean,
Yeah,
he could
Justin
do
Fields.
he could do just one or two, I guess. As long as Kyle Allen doesn't do it, we just signed Kyle Allen.
Yeah.
So as long as he doesn't, we don't need any workout videos from him.
Hey, the way last season went, you better hope that Kyle Allen doesn't have to play.
Oh, you ain't lying.
You guys still got some work to do on
lying.
that offensive line.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do.
Is that why you're doing all this eating healthy? You coming back to play?
Heck no. Dude, I can give you 2, maybe 3 good plays. And that's it. All on goal line. Don't ask me to move more than 2 feet. That's all
Just
I got.
lunging forward. Just lunging straight ahead forward. What are we doing? 0 wedge. Quarterback sneak.
Dude, hard right turn here, dude. I had this image come across social media today, and I had to know your opinion.
Is it family friendly?
It is family friendly. I had to know your opinion. You see those memes where it's like, who would win, or which food would you have to take out between French fries, tater tots, or 4 different types of French fries? If you had to leave one out, who would you do? Or 4
it's
great
like
players.
9
If you had to start,
yeah.
So there's this one with animals, dude. I'm a big animal documentary guy. I watch everything on National Geographic.
Are you on the TikToks? Do you get the TikToks of the animals doing crazy stuff?
My algorithm is a lot animal centric.
The lions chasing the gazelles and stuff and hunting them down and fighting.
Dude, I saw a croc take a baby hippo down, and then a family of hippos came and just messed up that croc. Just messed him up. You don't want to mess with a hippo, dude. Oh, those hippos are mean.
But a lioness try to tackle something off a cliff and broke her back, and she still powered through that damn gazelle. Oh, soldier.
Dude, so this one
Dan
came
Campbell's
across.
line right there.
This is who would win in a battle of these 4 predators.
We got Mufasa, Harambe, Yogi, and Jafar.
Whoever this. That's good. That's Jafar. So that
was the only snake I could come up with.
That was pretty good. Put these 4 in a cage. Who is coming out alive?
The snake.
There's no way.
What do you mean?
There's no way. Dude, even if it got past one of those animals, it wouldn't be able to move. That's not a poisonous snake, by the way. It's like a constrictor. And so its only
boa constrictors are not poisonous?
No, they're not.
Oh, well, if it's not a poisonous snake, then yeah, the snake's done. I thought it was a poisonous snake. That's a big ass snake. I thought it was a poisonous snake.
That's like an anaconda or a python. No, those are constrictors.
Those are poisonous.
No, they're not.
Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me.
Go ahead and look it up. Do your research. That is not, even if it was poisonous, like it can only bite one animal at a time. And then it got to make sure it's dead. Like they would just smash its head.
Anacondas are not poisonous.
No, they're not. Good night, sweetie. Yeah. They're not poisonous at all.
Neither are both. That snake's done then. Jafar's out. I thought that was a poisonous snake.
Dude, you don't see poisonous snakes that big. They're always like smaller.
You got to give me all of the information before I make my decision. If it was a poisonous snake, the poisonous snake wins.
You just don't know animals very well, apparently.
You're the snake connoisseur. You're the one.
I just thought, it's obviously an anaconda or a python of some sort. Anyway, so
look at his face. Oh, it's like a turtle.
He's done. Like somebody's just gonna swipe at his head and he's done.
Yeah, if he was poisonous, he's the winner hands down, because in the wild, it's the 3 bigger animals are all going to try to go after each other because they're going to take out what they perceive to be the biggest threat. So they'll be fighting each other, and the snake's going to come up and bite them in the ass, and they'll all die of poison.
No, what if they had to? What if it was like a Royal Rumble and they just paired up? Like it would like one-on-one. It's not beating either one of those unless it just happens to get a good bite on somebody.
Yeah, he's going.
But then all they would have to do is circle around it. It's not that thing. You see how big it is. You know how long it's gonna take for it to turn around.
They ain't gonna team up on the snake. They don't speak the same language.
They're just gonna be fighting. If they were to pair up, say the lion versus the gorilla, and
so I think the gorilla wins because the gorilla's the only one that's going to use his hands too. He'll sock the lion in the jaw.
Yeah, and they're like it's the strongest animal. So
yeah,
I take the bear over all of them.
What?
I take Baloo. That's a grizzly, first of all, and on his hind leg it stands like 8 feet tall. So I did tell you I do watch documentaries, so I know these animals very well. And it has claws and it has a really strong bite force. It's like the equivalent of pass rush percentage. He has a very strong bite force. And
his jaw game is impeccable.
Oh. Dude. So the king of the jungle actually I think loses to both the gorilla and the bear.
I think so too.
And I think the battle comes.
Listen, lions are always looking malnourished as hell in the wild. They're always looking. You can always see their ribs. They don't eat enough. They have too many kids. They're just bringing.
They got too many lioness to please with the 3-second pumps. That's all they do. 3 seconds. Yeah. And then it's over, and then they go to sleep for 23 hours.
Lion sister wives.
Right. So
they're always out there growling, running. The bear just sits. The bear sleeps for 4 months at a time.
That's true. So it's well rested. And the bears are the fastest of the group. I don't know how well it's going to do you in a cage, but it could run 30 miles per hour. Right. But
my dude Harambe. My dude Harambe is winning this. Harambe's got this down.
All right, you got Harambe. I got Baloo.
Listen,
or Yogi.
Harambe's going to step on the snake's head, and then he's going to choke out the bear with it, and the lion is going to be scared. Snake. Because he can use his hands. He's got thumbs.
He's going to squash him, wrap the snake around the bear, choke him. And then the lion's like, I don't want none of this. No. Like, you won.
The lion's gonna be at the cage screaming for Dan Campbell. Like, let me get some kneecaps. Get me out of here.
Yeah, man. So that came across. I had to run it by you, man. But it looks like we're approaching halftime on these games right here, man.
Yep, halftime. We got to get after it maybe this weekend sometime and do a recap of what all goes on this weekend. Let's get the poll up. Find me a baseball team to root for. I got to put some bets in. But if not this weekend, we'll free up some time next week.
Sounds like a plan, my guy.
All righty.